Hello, everybody. Welcome back. That's Justin Abarca. That's Eric Lopez. I'm Vince Navarro. We are the Three Mexicans. Thank you again for joining us. We are so happy that you're here. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man.
Muy bueno.
Good. It's good to see your faces. It's been a few crazy weeks again. Just a lot of shit happening in my life, and a lot of it rolls around, my son, which is just the classic parent shit. My son was in a play this weekend, which was super dope.
Cool.
I was super nervous for him. He's been doing this class for like since January that he's been in for a while, but this semester, if you call it, they rehearsed a play called 10 Ways to Survive the Zombie Apocalypse. And he was like the narrator. There's two narrators, and so basically he's on stage the whole time. And he's got like a ton of lines to learn and everything. And they did it 3 times over the weekend. During the first show, I was so nervous for him that I was squeezing my wife's hand so hard that like she had to be like, "You're breaking my hand." Like, and I didn't get any of the actual like play. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was so nervous.
You're just living in your anxiety.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it wasn't until the next show, because there was a 3:00 and then a 7:00, that like I relaxed and I could finally like just appreciate the fucking, the play. So anyways, so that happened over the weekend, and then we went to a restaurant, and which leads me to it just started reminding me this kind of gripe that I have. So we're gonna go right into it. So let's kick things off with the topic. Am I the only one? So after my kids play, we went to a restaurant and I started thinking about this, and I was like, fuck. When you guys go to a restaurant and you're about to order and you notice that the waiter or waitress or whatever, the person serving you your server doesn't write down your fucking order. And like, this happens so much to me that like, I'll notice it and then like, fucking shit, here's what's going to happen. And I've told my wife, and I'm like, this is what happens every time the servers don't write it down. They go, and you, and then like you can see that they're like internally trying to memorize it, and they're like, okay, I'll be right back, and then they go off and they start punching it into the computer or whatever the fuck, and then like 3 times they come back. Wait a minute, did you say no tomatoes or no pickles? Did you say this or that? And I'm just like, son of a bitch, write it down. Like, what is your deal? And like, it's gotten to the point now where it's just become comical, where I'm just like, because I've told my wife and she's just like, it's happened every fucking time. And good news is that it's happening less and less, because I feel like a lot of restaurants are adapting that, like, those pads that they use now for like things. So I feel like they're being forced to fucking, use these things because of the way that they always fuck up. But there's still all those restaurants I go to where I'm just like, if you come back here and ask me again, what the fuck is going on? And like, did you guys have either one of you worked in the service industry?
I
like,
wrote everything down. I mean,
is that something that was mandated to them or something? Like, what the fuck?
No, dude. I was never a table server. I was room service, and so we wrote everything down. You know what I mean? But like, the weird thing about it is like, I've had the opposite experience as you. I've always been surprised. I'm like, oh, you want to write this down? They're like, no, I got it. I'm like,
really?
And then, dude, they rattle it all off. And they get all of the shit right. I'm like, oh, okay, you know what you're doing. But
I was a server for years, doing off and on, and I always wrote it down because I don't trust myself, but I know that it's more of like it's like a skill, and also like a nicer establishment, they don't, because they have it all memorized because they have to. So when they don't write it down, you're like, okay, like I trust that. Like you go to fucking like Providence or something like that, like they don't write that shit down. When I went, I don't think they did. Providence is like a super fancy restaurant.
Look at name droppy McDream restaurant name dropper over here. I went to some place Vince and Eric haven't ever fucking heard of. Oh, it's so exclusive. You two peasants have never heard of this shit.
That's good though. That's really good. Guy was on Top Chef Masters. Well, I'm just saying. But like, but if you go like but also on the opposite end, you go to like some like kind of like rinky dink kind of like hood spots or something like that where they also don't write it down because it's a simple menu and they know every fucking like option that there's gonna be. So it's not like, but there is that weird middle ground where you're like at a fucking Chili's and you're like, oh my God, this girl's like 22. There's no way she's gonna be like, remember all this. That my kids don't want onions, they don't want pickles, they like blah blah blah. Like they just want it plain. Just plain.
Yeah. And she comes back, is like, what was that? And I'm just like, son of a bitch, dude, write it down. How do I say? It's one of those like obviously first world problem type gripes, but it's just it happened so often that it was driving.
That shit's been happening to me at fucking In-N-Out lately. You know, those guys act like they're just, oh yeah, I know, oh yeah, I got it all right here. You fucking put it in, and then you go up there and you get your shit, and it's all fucking wrong. I'm like, you fucking. I feel like they do it on purpose sometimes. In and Out, some of those little fucking Chicano kids, they're little assholes.
Really?
yeah, dude. They fucking. I feel like they do it on purpose. Like, it's not like I'm giving them attitude either. It's just they want to fuck with me.
Maybe they have your picture up behind the register, and they're like, "Fuck with this guy."
Maybe they know. Maybe they know fucking that like. Are my orders annoying? I always wonder, like, is my order annoying?
What do you add? What do you want?
I like both kinds of onions. I like grilled and raw onions.
Here he comes again. This is the 2-onion guy.
Mr. Fancy 2 onions.
Mr. Fancy 2 onions.
So sometimes I'll go like grilled and raw onions.
Dos cebollas.
Sometimes I'll go grilled raw onions, mustard fried with the pickles, and no tomato because the tomato makes it real soggy, and easy spread. And they always put fucking shitloads of spread. Fucking add the tomato.
Fancy.
Dog, you need to get a job there if you want that. That's your break meal.
You need,
if you want it done right, you know what I mean? Like, you want that done right.
I got a complicated order. Like, oh my God.
But are you guys, here's the thing, are you guys In-N-Out truthers?
What does that mean?
Like, you guys are just like, it's the best. Like, it's fucking, people don't fuck with it, blah, blah, blah.
No,
like,
but it's the best value, dude. Like, I go
I'll
around, it's fucking cheaper than McDonald's.
It was. I don't know if it's still the best value.
Wait, what else can you get for those prices?
No, for like $10, you can go to like fucking Norm's and get a big ass burger and fries and a soda for like $9.
And a tip. You don't got to fucking tip it in and out.
Yeah, but you could just like sit there.
I like Norm's, especially after seeing Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
They filmed that in Norm's.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Supposedly the one in Hollywood, but I'm not sure if that's where they filmed it. But it's in Norm's for sure.
Yeah. No, my kid and I ran the numbers the other day because we had so much time sitting in the In-N-Out drive-through line that we were looking at all like and the prices and everything, and still value-wise, I think Eric's right. Still the best.
Yeah, because it's like if you're not getting like coupons or app deals or some shit.
Well, how much is a meal?
Buck, dude, like $10, right?
No, I think it's even less.
It's less than $10. Yeah, less than $10. If you're just getting a single, all right, let's say a single with cheese and just fries and a regular drink, it's like I think it's less than 10.
I mean, I walked out of there the other day with I didn't order. See, the thing is, we don't order too many fries because like we just overdo it with the fries. But like I ordered at least 3 hamburgers, a fry, a shake, and it was under $30.
Dude,
so I was like, all right. And if I do that same thing at like the Habit Burger, which I think
Habit's a ripoff, dude.
I don't know. I like them.
It's good, but it's a ripoff. Yeah. And no, what is a ripoff? Because their burgers have shrunk. You notice that?
Really? Shrinkflation?
Yep, they shrunk their burgers. Their patties are smaller. Yeah.
Damn.
I've noticed that so many places. I went to did I tell you I went to, where'd I go? I think I went to Carl's Jr. and they had like some weird deal where like, you get a burger and a little chicken sandwich and a drink or whatever, and a little fries for this much. But cool, I'll go get that. I opened the burger, dude. It was like lace because it was so small that when they cooked it and all the fat came off, it was like just like little lace pieces of meat in there. I was like, what a fucking joke.
That is no joke. The shrinkflation is a fucking real deal. And my son, the other day, he saw me at my like internally, my brain went, oh fuck, because it was my birthday recently, and my best friend came up and he gave me a box of these Mexican candies called pulparindos.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know pulparindos?
Yeah.
They're the little yellow like this, and they were sitting. He gave me a whole box of them, and because he remembered that those were like my favorite candies ever, and so they were sitting here for like a couple days or two, and my son was like, open it. Like, I want to see you try one. Like how I want to see it. And I was like, okay. So I opened the box and I pulled one out and I opened it and I pulled it out, and it's a flat little rectangle of candy. And I pulled it out, and in my head, I went, whoa, this seems way smaller than I remember. And I didn't say anything. It was just in my head. And my son goes, are you now realizing it's way smaller than it was when you were a kid and it's been shrinkflated or whatever? And I was like, yes.
Wow.
I was like, absolutely, that is what is happening in my brain. And he goes, well, that's just, a sign of the times, fucking capitalism, right? And I was like, yep.
And then he drank his coffee and walked away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then he lit up a fucking cigarette. I was like, oh,
yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go memorize my lines for this play.
Yeah.
For
performances this week.
Yeah. So all that to say is that write that shit down, servers, please. Write it the fuck down, and we won't have this mess anymore. And one good thing about technology, like I said, is that like I've noticed a lot of restaurants are being forced to use that little chingadera to like put the order in. So, and ever since all those times, perfect. And real quick, just to wrap this up, you know what happens a lot to us? So much so that it's comical is that we'll order. My wife loves an appetizer. She's like, what do you want to get as an appetizer? Let's start off with a little appetizer. And I'm like, I don't know, choose something, like I'll eat any appetizer, right? And she's like, okay, how about the mozzarella or whatever, right? We're going to order this thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll eat the fuck out of that shit. And so the person will come over and I'll be like, hey, we'll start with this. Okay. And then we're going to have okay. And then they'll go off. And then all of a sudden, we're sitting there waiting, we get our drinks. And then all of a sudden their main entree shows up and we're like, what the fuck? We're like, and we'll look at the server and, they're like, is everything okay? Do you need it? And we're like, well, what happened to the appetizer we ordered? And they're like, and you can see their eyes go like, oh,
so sorry.
Like, and they're like, let me go check on it. And I'm like, that's code for I fucking forgot.
Yep.
Right. And so
that's
run off.
That's code for I'm getting some free appetizers right now.
Yeah. So then they come back but it's always, well, oh, I'm so sorry. Some sort of excuse. Either they fess up to it like, oh, I forgot to put it in, or the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. But either way, and then they're like, do you still want it?
Oh, yeah.
And my wife's like, no, I don't no. Yeah, do you still want it? We're like, no, we don't want that. No.
Say only if it's free.
I know. That's happened so many fucking times, dude. Like, it's gotten to the point where my wife and I, like, we make bets. Like, do you think we're going to get an appetizer today? Like, do you think it's going to happen? And she's just like, we never know. It's 50-50 at this point. But like I said, first world problems.
By the way, In-N-Out, double combo, $11.
Right.
See, but that's in LA.
So a single, though. A single. So that means a single's probably 10 or under.
The single's like, I think, like 8. Like 7.
So there you go. It's the best value.
$8.
Best value. You get a burger, a single burger and fries and a drink for $8. Where else do you get that right now?
Who's doing that though? Who's getting a single?
Kids,
or maybe maybe you're like me and you just don't want the burger so much. You want like 2 fries.
Oh, there you go.
You get the single and 2 fries.
Oh, you like the fries to get 2?
I fucking love the fries, dude. I don't know. People shit on those fries, dude. I love them shits, man. They're like homemade. They're like my mama's fries and shit.
Yeah, no.
You can order them. You can order them light well, and they're crispier if you want. But I like them soggy. Fucking soggy ass fries.
I will always say the best fries in the fast food world, and I'm talking like the major players, not like your local whatever fuck, is Wendy's. Wendy's has the best fucking fries.
No.
Hey, fuck all y'all. Wendy's has the best fucking fries.
If you're talking about wedges, the breakfast wedges, those are good.
Nope.
No.
Dude, you had the breakfast wedges?
Yes, those are great.
Fucking delicious. They're way better than shit fries.
McDonald's is always going to be number 1. Yes.
I mean, dude, those are the worst fucking fries after 5 minutes, though, man. If you let them shit sit 5 minutes, they're fucking ruins.
Why are you letting them sit?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
You try to drive home, don't you? You're just going to fucking eat them while you're driving?
Yeah, what are you talking about? They're for the car.
Oh,
they're car fries.
Back and forth.
Underrated? Burger King. Burger King fries are underrated.
They used to be good. They changed their shit.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they changed them. I hate places changes their shit, man. It's annoying. It's like, oh, you had it right, and then you fucked it up.
Yeah.
Whataburger.
Okay, well,
anybody had Whataburger?
I've never had a
I love
Whataburger.
Whataburger fries. They're good. Keeping the same classic every time. Good. Salty as shit.
Clutter is a waste. It's a waste of money, a waste of time, and a waste of space. I'm Janice Rostron, professional organizer, chronic disorganization specialist, author, and owner of Just Focus and Reorganize. I have over 10 years experience and have a wide variety of services to help you declutter and organize any space in your personal or business life. I work in person in the Denver metro area in Colorado or virtually anywhere that you are. If you are struggling with clutter and ready to reduce your waste, go to jfnr.net to get started. Be sure to mention the 3 Mexicans, and I will donate 10% of my fee to Salud para la Gente, an amazing nonprofit in Watsonville, California, which is the hometown of Mexicamp Vince Navarro. Again, go to www.jfnr.net and be sure to mention the 3 Mexicans. Clutter is a waste. JFR can help.
Well, that leads us to our next topic, which is dovetails pretty good. And I just want I was thinking about this the other day, and I want to know about you guys, your guys' kind of background, and see if it's similar to my. I've had a lot of really kind of weird jobs, in my life, and I want to tell you about a couple of them, which I think are pretty hilarious. The first one is when I was in grad school, I took a job at a locksmith company. And when I say that to people, they immediately in their heads think that I'm like in one of those like key shops with like keys everywhere and like the old guy in the back like making keys. It was not like that at all. It was basically an empty room with 3 telephones and a computer and a pieces of paper to write on. That's it. That was the whole thing, because we were just a dispatch for all of these locksmiths all over America that they had put all over the place, including Canada.
For the Amazon hub for the locksmiths.
Yeah.
I kind of what it was is that they bought out all of the numbers in the phone book or directory, or like when you called or Googled or whatever, like locksmith San Diego, locksmith Toronto, locksmith New York, locksmith DC. They bought out like the first 30 numbers.
Wow.
So like A plus whatever, triple A or quadruple A or like A plus, all the A's and everything. So like the first 20 you would call even though they look like different numbers, they all came to me. And since it was not the majority, 100% of our clients were people that locked themselves out of their cars or houses. Okay, like they're out at the bar or whatever, and something happened and they fucked up and they got to get into their car. And so they told me my training was basically the first thing that comes out of your mouth is $125 minimum. And this is back in 2004 or 5, right? 2004. $125. I mean, that's still a lot of money now, but back then it was like a shit ton of money, right?
Yeah.
And so like it'd be like the phone would ring and I worked the midnight shift. I worked from midnight to 6. All right, 6 in the morning. Gross. And so I would sleep most of the time. I'd be like, just like I would put the phones right by my head and I would just sleep like at the desk, like all fucking my like this, like on my shoulders. And the phone would ring and I go, "Hello, locksmith," and they'd go, "I locked myself out of the car. Can you please send someone?" And I would say, "Yes, I can, but just to let you know, it's a minimum $125. And 9 times out of 10, they'd hang up on me. And so then, and I could see the number that called. So then about 30 seconds later, they now think they've called a different number and they'd call me. And I'd be like, "Hello, locksmith." And then after a couple days because people would be like, "What number is this? Like, what's your name?" And I didn't know what name. And I'd be like, "Oh, it's just locksmith." That's what they told me to say. Just say locksmith. And so after a while, I felt so bad, but like, just to like my own sanity and also just for shits and giggles. So the first time they'd call, I'd answer like this: "Hello, locksmith. It's going to be $125. Click." I'd hang up the phone. They'd call back 30 seconds later. So I started doing this. "Hello, locksmith." And And then the same thing, it's a minimum of $125, right? And then they'd be like, click. And then they'd be like, they call again, and I'd go, yellow locksmith, yellow locksmith. And then I would up it. I'd go, minimum $140 to get somebody out there. 140, yeah, 140, right? And they'd be like, click. And so then they'd call back the first person, but then I'd be like, oh shit, I don't know. So I just have to be like, I'd be like, yellow locksmith. Like, and so finally, like, these people are just desperate at this point because they're probably out downtown, wherever the fuck they are. And so they'd finally agree to do it, but it was just the amount of voices I had to come up with to get this to work. And then, because I always wanted to like have like 5 or 6 like all the way through that like we booked that night to like make up for the fact that I'm usually sleeping, right? Like, and so I basically just tried my best to fake my voice and try to book these lockouts. But then the guys would call me back. The locksmiths, I would have to then, dispatch it out to the local guy. He'd go out, do the job, and then he'd call me to like either run a credit card or whatever. And he would end up charging them like $230, $250.
Jeez.
Yeah, because he would have to replace the cylinders or he'd have to do this. It was never like a straight, easy job. You know what I mean? Like, very rarely was it anywhere close to 120, whatever it was that I was quoting them. It was always way more. So I was like, man, these guys are making a fucking killing. So that's job number 1. But I'll pause right there. Did you guys have any fucking weird-ass jobs like that?
I remember I had a interview for a job like that, like when I was like, or like early 20s, like you don't know anything. And I had to come all the way. It was like somewhere in fucking Studio City or Encino or some shit like that. And I didn't really know what it was. It was like a Craigslist one. It was like back in the day when like you didn't really know what the fuck you were applying for. And it ended up being I walked away because I think it was a scam. Because what they wanted you to do was go to college campuses and sell pre-packaged auto repair cards. Or it's like you would go and be like, oh, pay like $30, like pay like $100, and it's worth $200 worth of like auto service when you need it.
That's a total scam.
Yeah, and it was like this whole spreadsheet and a whole chart and this and that, and it was like, okay, when we're done, stick around. I think we love all you guys, and I was just like, I'm out of here. Like my fucking spidey senses tingled.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever had anything like just odd, but like, because I've done weird, not weird jobs, but just like stupid jobs. Like I did refurbish cell phones for a while, like, and then like, but like the craziest one was probably working overnight. So it's anything overnight, dude. Anything overnight is where you get fucking weirdos. So I was working overnight, graveyard room service at this hotel in Santa Monica. Man, all kinds of crazy shit happened, dude. So one time some dude killed himself in his room.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
I was like, great. Now this fucking place is going to be extra haunted. Because apparently it was haunted. The place has been around. It's an old hotel from like the 1920s, 30s, I think. And so apparently, like, it's like really high, like super high. Like, I think it was maybe 14, 15 floors or something like that. Like at night, like in like the like early morning, like I'd go up there and like I'd go, we weren't supposed to go out there, like go up to the roof, and I'd go over there and chill and fucking just stand up on the edge like I was fucking Batman. No, I listened to the waves crash and shit. We're right on the water. All kinds of crazy shit happened, dude. Like I'd get all weird requests. Fucking some dude was banging some a lot of like college basketball players, like prospective college basketball players would come through. And they were always ordering like free shit. Like they just wanted to like order room service. I'm like, dude, to order fucking something that I can get like some service fee off of. God damn it! This guy's like, can you get some ice water? Can I get some crackers? Like, motherfucker, dude. Yeah, like just weird shit though. Like like it's funny. Like I think there was like escorts or hookers that used to work the rooftop bar there, because I always hear the same chick like in different rooms and different nights of the week. Like oh, that's that same chick. And she's like totally just performing, like, oh my God, so good. Same chick. Like, I'm like, wow, she's making money.
Maybe it's a ghost.
Ben.
Yeah.
Like the one like the video I sent you about the Yorona.
Yeah. So another just I can fucking do this all day with odd jobs because I took so many odd jobs. I went in. This was the weirdest fucking thing. I saw a Craigslist ad once, still in grad school, and it was like I can't remember how or what, but it was a very vague. You were like a receptionist that's this, that, and the other, and I was like, I can do reception. I've done that before. Like, no, whatever. I'm like, am I your assistant? What is this? So I don't know how, but this guy who was hiring for this job figured out that I was like in the film world. And like, he was like, oh, I'm trying to get the screenplay off the ground. And he was like, He called me. He's like, I'm trying to get the screenplay off the ground. Why don't you come in and we'll meet? And I'm like, is this about the job or about the screenplay? I was very confused. So he sends me the address and I get there and I was like, I have to be at the wrong fucking place because it was a laser hair removal clinic. Okay. So I knock on the door and I'm like, hey, I'm here to meet so-and-so. And they're like, oh yeah, his office is right there. You know, he's the owner. Like, he's right there. And so I go in and he's like, hey, nice to meet you. And so the whole time we're talking about his screenplay, which was some shitty screenplay about horse gambling, right? Like something about it was worse than that HBO show Luck that lasted for a second. It was terrible.
Working out his childhood issues with his dad, probably.
Something, dude. And obviously this guy was a degenerate horse gambler because like all over his office was just like photos of like him at the racetrack. You know what I mean? Him with like, and I was like, oh, you're one of these rich guys with like money to burn, or like they've lost all their money at the track and now you've invested all of it into this, right? Into this laser hair removal clinic. It was so fucking weird. So he sends me home with his screenplay and he's like, let me know what you think. And I'm like, well, what about the job? And he's like, oh yeah, you start on Monday. And I was like, what? And I was like, okay. And so Monday rolls around and I walk in there and mind you, it's me, like, hi, like, it's like, hi. And it's all the other employees were female nurses and female receptionists, right? And I'm the only guy. And so people would come in and they'd see me immediately and they'd be like, I saw people that have been to get their treatments that have been there multiple times. They'd open the door, they'd see me, and then they do the thing where they look at the door to see the nameplate. They go, am I at the right fucking place? And I'm like, hi. I'm like, you're here for your name is, you know, I know everyone's name because I have the chart. And they're like, oh, I'm like, hi, you here for your blah, blah. And they're like, yeah. And several patients, I guess you call them, or clients, would go in with the nurses because it was always a register, whatever call it, an RN or whatever that has to do this, with the laser. And they would leave and the nurse would be like, yep, you made that lady uncomfortable. Like, yep, that lady commented on how uncomfortable they were that you're here. And I'm like, I'm not in there with them. I'm over here. I just run the calendars, you know, like, and the nurses would have to be like, that's just Vince. He's fine. He's harmless. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. But I worked there for like 6 months or something like that. And it was just like the weirdest thing. And the hardest part of the job, and I think they quickly realized that it was a bad idea. They wanted me to sell the packages to people, to like new clients would come in. And I was like, no, this is a bad idea. Because like, how it's not fun to be like, so where do you want to get, you know, hair removed from? Nice 22-year-old college girl, you know, like,
yeah.
And they'd be all like, well, I want to talk to someone about it that's not you. Because it was always, you know, it's never like my back,
the butthole.
It's never my forearm.
Yeah.
It's
we
always
could be adults here, sweetie.
Yeah. I'm like,
you want that bee-hole sparkling or not?
You want the butthole clean so that you can go get the bleaching next.
I have to go look at my lines in 20 minutes. I have 3 shows this weekend.
No, that happened. That happened. I'm not gonna lie, that happened. And so pretty quickly they moved me exclusively to reception and also like being their IT person because I knew stuff about I knew computers as like, you know, computers, fix our computers. And I was like, okay. So like 10 minutes later, I'm like done. And they were like, what? They've been broken for months. And I was like, you guys are dumb. So that was an insanely weird job. And the first couple days they had me, because they wanted me to sell packages to people, they had me read the manuals to all of our lasers. And so I could learn the lasers inside and out. So if people asked me about the technology, I would know it. So I just sat there for 2 straight days reading the most boring instruction manuals and like how to operate the lasers.
Lasers?
Yeah, because they use these like crazy like.
Why do you need to know?
Yeah,
because they wanted me to sell these
script,
packages.
aren't you?
No, the script is long gone at this point. Because
what happened to that script?
Yeah.
What was the script? Was it good?
Who knows? Because no, it was awful. It was fucking terrible. It was written by it was awful. And I kind of told the guy, I was like, well, like blah, blah, this. And the thing is, it was also very expensive. It was like, this would cost you hundreds of millions of dollars to do
that
this.
script turned into Uncut Gems. It was sold to.
Maybe.
It was Avatar.
Yeah. And that guy, mind you, the owner, who I thought I would see all the time, I saw once a week, maybe. And I would ask where he was, and everyone's answer immediately was the horse track. He's always at the horse track. Like, he lives at the horse track. And I was like, man, what a degenerate piece of shit. Like,
I know, right?
No wonder, like, a year later, I found out that place went bye-bye.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think he was just trying to pay off these lasers he had bought for the sessions. And so I'll wrap the laser shit up soon because I love to tell this story. I think it was day 1 or day 2. One of the nurses, she was really nice. She walked us by and she goes, hey, yeah, she was cool. She goes,
and you're
hey,
the only guy in the office?
I'm the only guy in the office. And she goes, hey.
Sounds like a porn
she goes, how's it going? Yeah, no. She goes, how's it going? And I go, pretty good. She goes, how's it going with reading about that laser? I'm like, pretty good. She goes, have you had any laser hair removal done yet? And I was like, no, I'm good. And she goes, well, how are you going to sell this to people unless you actually experience it yourself? And I was like, I'll just take everyone's word for it. I was like, I'm good. And she goes, you're not getting what I'm saying. You're going to choose a part on your body to get laser removed, or we're going to choose it for you.
What the fuck?
Like the girls ganged up on me and they're like,
we're totally a porno.
Yeah,
no. And I was like, excuse
how's
me.
that laser manual?
We're gonna laser these.
Me and the girls
nuts.
got together. You either choose or we choose.
We're gonna laser these
Yeah,
nuts
and I was
till
like,
they're egg
so-
smooth.
Yeah. So to depornify it all, I was like, okay, lower back, like, because I my back was
Got
just,
your tramp
guys
stamp area cleaned
right
up.
there. Yeah, that area. Yeah. And so they were like, okay, lower back. And so they threw me in there and they started a chart and everything. And they have to shave it off and everything. And dude, you guys.
Wait, they shave it before they remove
yeah,
the hair?
You have to shave it. Yeah, you have to shave it. So that way, because it's not killing the hairs, it's killing the follicle. And so you have to get like pretty direct contact through the skin. See, I remember all that
Good
shit
you,
from
man.
laser manuals.
You could open your own shop.
I know, right?
Is
And
a
I'm
laser
not-
like a pen laser?
No, it's like a big, huge, like tick, 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 like a big old circle like this, and they like tick, tick, it's like snap, 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 and each one of those snaps is like someone like
Be a shock.
you doing the most ultimate, like rubber band snap on you. It hurts like a motherfucker, dude.
They're
And
shocks, right? They're electrocutions. They're little mini electrocutions.
yeah, it's like a laser that shoots. It's like on the same wavelength as like the pigment, and it uses the pigment of the hair color to go down and like kill the follicle. It's a whole thing.
Is it the same thing they use for tattoo removal?
Yes, very similar.
Okay.
Extraordinarily similar, except they use a different wavelength.
Okay.
Because it tries to find the same wavelength as the color of your hair.
Okay.
And so it's actually really hard for people that have darker skin because then it doesn't really work because it's like, oh, we're gonna fuck up your skin. But for like light skinned people, it works perfect because it's like it's just light skin.
Mm-hmm.
So like it could find the follicle color really fast and easy. Sorry, now now I'm just giving a fucking TED talk on how this shit works. See, and it's stuck in there because I had 3 days of just reading manuals.
Well, see, there you go.
How long ago was this job?
This is in 2006.
No, that's not
Yeah,
that
so
long.
20
Also, when
years
does the
ago.
porn start?
Yeah.
it did not. Trust me, I was not.
When's the orgy
thank you.
begin?
No, it did not happen. So they did. The thing is, you're supposed to go back like 6 times, like every 3 months or 2. There's like a set schedule because because hair grows at a different blah 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 blah. And so you're supposed to go back a whole bunch. And I only did it that one time. But a few friends of mine from college that like roommates and stuff, I told them about this and I showed them, and they were like, they kept checking up. They're like, let me see your back. Let me see your back. And they're like, that did a ton. They're like, your lower back was insane, and now it's like fine. Like it's so hairy, like normal guys have hair there, but they were like before it was nuts. Like that one session worked, dude. And I was like, oh,
Are you
okay.
a hairy dude?
You keep saying
No, I'm not. It's just right there, just right there. It's my only hairy spot, and like my whole non-privates.
The tail was.
Yeah. But now it's been 116 better. If I had gone for all treatments, I'd have nothing. Because they up the amperage or whatever to every session. The megajoules, whatever they call it.
But yeah, they go megajoule all the way max on the first.
Because that would have fucked me up. Yeah, it's too much. They would have killed me. And dude, I was like basically crying when they did it. I was like, oh my god, you guys, this fucking sucks. And they're like, well, now you know. And I was like, oh, thanks. No one's half the battle. And then I fucking ice packed the rest of the day. So yeah, laser hair removal, everybody. I'm the guy that you came to for that back in 2006. It was so
hate
fucking weird.
selling shit though. That's my other thing.
Oh yeah, I can't sell anything.
Being asked, like I used to work at a coffee shop, and there was always like push like this coffee or whatever, and I was like, I hate this with a passion. Like I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
Like when I worked at Banana Republic when I first moved to LA, and they make you you gotta sell you gotta fucking sell credit cards. You gotta do the credit upsell. I'm like, well, I don't get a fucking shit. I get like a T-shirt or something, or like a $5 Starbucks card. I'm like, I ain't fucking pushing this shit. And I would just straight up tell them, like, hey, I got to ask you if you want a credit card. You want a credit card? No? All right, cool. Like, you don't have to get it.
Yeah. My friend Janice, who's our sponsor, she told me once that she worked at Barnes & Noble, and she was saying that, this back when we were in college and stuff, that there would be secret shoppers.
But yeah, secret shoppers is a huge thing.
She showed up. We were all hanging out at her place, and she showed up after one of her shifts, and she was like, I'm like, hey, how was work? She was like, fucking shitty. And I was like, what happened? She goes, there was a secret shopper today, and I didn't, like, upsell them the whatever fuck bullshit credit card or whatever, and like I got reprimanded about it and written up or some bullshit, and I was like, fuck, and like she was so mad at it. I was like, let's go get some beers, that sucks. And I remember around my only job ever working at a movie theater was in '99. The day my first day was the day episode 1 came out, and I had to go in for training, which was watching a couple of videos. And the biggest thing that they wanted you to get, other than like be nice, was the upsell. Like people always order a medium, and then they're like, well, for 25 cents more, you can get 80% more or whatever. And they're like, those quarters mean a lot because the concession is where we make most of our money and blah, blah. So they were big on it. If you're not upselling, you're fucking up.
Yeah, dude. I remember when I was training, when I first moved to Phoenix for college, I went to train at a movie theater, and it was funny. Like, that's the best upsells. Like, for just a couple cents more, you can get this much more popcorn or this much more soda. That's the best upsell because this one dipshit, I remember, this little smug little shit, thought he was so fucking clever. He's like, well, what I like to do is I like to throw a little shame in there. I say, small's actually a child size, sir. Would you like a child size or do you want a medium? It works all the time. And then he fucking did it. He did it in front of me one time. It was like my first shift. And this old man fucking just yelled at him, just leaned into him. He's like, well, sir, small's actually a child size. Like, I don't give a good goddamn if it is a child size. I asked for a small. I want a small. Give me what I asked for, goddamn it. And he's like,
wow.
Yes, sir. Good for that dude.
I was like, fucking, your fucking upselling technique shit.
It is, dude.
You'll shame people into buying more shit.
Shame people. Yeah. You're supposed to make people think they're smarter because they're doing the better option.
Yeah. Small's actually for children, sir.
Do you guys get the fucking solar guys coming up to your door?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Or the energy guys, like, what if I saved you, blah, blah, blah. And I
get texts,
I hate it.
But I don't get
I hate it. But it's always like the same type of dude. It's like a young dude.
Yeah.
Who like is like super like go-getter dudes.
Yeah.
Who they just scammed into doing this poor job of walking door to door, getting like door slammed in their face.
They still do that?
Yeah, dude.
I'm Jehovah's Witness style.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
One dude, I think he lives one of the guys lives just a block and a half away because I saw him leave his house one day when I was on a run, and I was like. I'm like, that's weird. I just clocked him. I was like, that guy's just leaving his house and made a left. I was like, that's weird. No one, he didn't go to his car or whatever. And I just kind of like recognized him and the shirt he had on. And he did not look like someone who was selling shit. He had on he looked like me right now, like a sweatshirt and hat and like a skateboard. And he was just like, la, 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 la. And then I came back from my run and I took a shower and all of a sudden the doorbell rings and it's that fucking guy. And I was like, oh, it's my neighbor. What the fuck does he want? The guy that lives a block and a half away. And I opened the door and I was like, hey, and he goes, hey, dude, can I interest you in some solar panels? Like, have you thought about going solar? And I was like, no, I'm good. And he goes, oh, and he was very pushy. He was like, well, why not? Blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I've done some research. Not really. Oh, what kind of research? And I was like,
you already engaged. You already
you
lost.
fucking hate the
and I was like,
environment,
oh my
bro.
God. Yeah, no, and then the very last thing he said, I'll never forget. He goes, will you ever consider doing it? I'm like, well, maybe like, but like, I'm talking like a long time from now, AKA when I have money, because all my money went into the fucking house. And he goes, oh, well, when do you think that will be? Like, what exact date?
Like, fuck.
And I was like, are you fucking crazy? And I was like, I don't know, man. And he goes, can I leave you my card? And I was like, no. Slam. I was like, fuck all the way off, man. Like,
what time do you think you want solar? 10:30 tonight?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. That's honestly what it felt like. He was like, so like, what exact day should I come back here in 2032? And I'm like, no, dude.
It sucks.
Yeah, those
so
fucking
bad,
door to
but I'm
door.
also-
I remember when they used to come around and sell the cleaning solutions and shit, and the move was was always to like, and look, it's safe, and they pull out, they go, they take a fucking mouthful of it, like it's safe for consumption. Like, why would you even sell it that way? You want to kill your pets? Like, oh, dude.
Yeah. Oh, you just activated a memory. I totally remember that.
Yeah, that was
And
their
I remember
move.
when he went.
That was their ultimate final move. Like,
Yeah.
look at that. Totally
And I remember
safe.
I would be like going like this to my aunt, like, we gotta get it. We gotta get it. Did you see that? It's super safe.
Oh shit! You clean shit and you can eat it.
Yeah. And then the last odd job that I'll tell you, which wasn't that odd, but it was definitely like you see behind the curtain. I worked for a third-party company, for that the delivery companies for IKEA. So like IKEA would have this third party inside of the IKEAs to handle any sort of like you go buy a couch but you can't put it in your car, or you just or whatever. And so I would be it started off first in the warehouse. They told me they're like, you're gonna be a what do they call like a courier? You know, like in LA back in the day, there were just couriers all over the place flying around, taking scripts here. It was like I thought it was like that. And so for the first like 2-3 weeks, I would just I would get a call and then they're like, hey, we need you to pick this thing up from here and take it here. Like literally pick it up from Hayward and take it to San Leandro. Pick it up from Oakland, take it to San Francisco. And I was like, okay. And every time I would get like $50. And I was like, cool. But our hub was this warehouse in San Leandro, pretty close to the IKEA in Emeryville. And they would have me come in there every once in a while for like trainings or whatever. But it was very rinky-dink operation. And I realized real quick, like I think it was day 10, they put me in charge of the warehouse. Right? Because, want to know why exclusively? Because I wasn't a crackhead. Because all the employees were fucking crackheads. All the warehouse guys, all the fucking delivery guys, everyone. It was in San Leandro. It was near here. I mean,
like
I'm
talking
crack? Like crack, meth, heroin, you name
San
it.
Leandro, that's by Oakland, right?
Yeah. And like they're all, and I'm talking all types of people, like white, Mexican, African American, like
they get paid in cash?
No, they paid me. That part of it was legit. And I'll never forget the boss. He came in and was like, because I was in grad school again. He goes, where'd you graduate from? I'm like, Berkeley. And he goes, what did you get a degree in? I'm like, film studies. He's like, okay, you're in charge now. And I was like, what? I'm like, I don't know anything about fucking warehouses. And so IKEA, and funny, like, you know when like you'd go to IKEA or people go to IKEA and they order a kitchen, like a full kitchen. And like, it was hilarious because that kitchen set would show up to our warehouse and they would just sit there forever until IKEA would then call us and be like, okay, now go deliver it. Like, and it would sit there for weeks. I mean, it would show up so fast after the clients would order it in IKEA because they would like package it together in like these crates and stuff and all like, but it's all comes taken apart. You know what I mean? Like, and so, but the IKEA is not ready for it because they don't have people to go out there and like either deliver it or build it or whatever. So it would just sit in our warehouse for weeks, if not months, just taking up space. And so finally I kind of was like, hey, listen, dudes, I don't like being in charge of this warehouse with all these fucking crackheads. Like, I'm sorry. I don't like it. But can you change it so that and plus I would be there till like 2-3 in the morning, like by myself unloading fucking trucks.
Wait,
like,
the crack didn't make these motherfuckers work more efficiently?
Yeah.
No, dude, it made them worse. It made them all fucking like all like, you know, like fucking like all scratchy and like all weird. It was weird, and like most of them didn't have teeth. It was a fucking mess. But anyway, so they finally moved me to. They were like, okay, so they're like, we don't want to lose you as an employee because you're like basically the smartest human we've ever met. And I was like, okay. And they're like, why don't we move you so that you work exclusively at IKEA? There's 2 IKEAs around here. Every day you go to a different one, and you'll be the guy that when someone wants to like, like I said, they can't fit their sofa or whatever, or their bed they just bought, they'll wheel it over to you. You put it in the computer, and then guys will show up with trucks and take it away. That's your whole job. And I was like, oh, that sounds perfect. And it was perfect, dudes. Because, how often does that happen? I got like maybe like 6, 7 orders a day, a shift. Wow. And all I had to do was roll it over to like the where the trucks would pull up, what was it called? The whatever.
The bay.
The bay over in the back.
Yeah.
The loading dock. And then I would type it into our computer. Like I would just like transpose it all. And then I'd tape it up with like all our like whatever. And then magically like 3 times a night they'd show up, pick it up and take it off, and then I'd never think about it again, right? And so I spent so much time just wandering around IKEA, making friends with all the employees. Like, and they would all get little coupons for free hot dogs, and they would just give them to me because they would just get so many. There were just stacks of them. So back then I was broke as fuck, so I was like, fuck yeah. So I would just get free hot dogs. Like, I mean, I was living on those IKEA hot dogs every fucking day. Like, just like I'd get like 5. Like, I was like, this is the dream, guys. Like, when I quit that job, I had to think about it a little bit. I was like, do I want to quit this? Because this is too easy. But I had to quit because I had to move on,
if you were as smart as they thought you were, you would have got a little bag of rocks for the week. And you'd take 1 rock and be like, hey, guys, whoever does the most productive today wins the rock at the end of the day. And everybody gets the winner gets a rock at the end of the show. You get productivity out of everybody, see? But you can get creative enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one time a couple of weird things happened. One delivery guy showed up after like going to do a delivery shift, and he was running from his truck, and he couldn't like run fast enough. And then I noticed that he was like grabbing at his pants and stuff. And I looked over and I'm like, what's going on? And he ran into the bathroom and he came out and his pants were just all full of piss.
Pissed on himself.
Cool.
Like he pissed himself, and I was like, "What's happening? Like, are you okay?" I was like concerned for this guy. I knew this guy. I'm like, "What's happening?" And he was like, "No." He said, I just drank this liquid that to like clear him. Basically, he was drinking something to like make it so that like when he took a drug test, it didn't show up.
Yeah.
And it like he didn't anticipate how it was gonna like run through him. And so like he just had to pee really, really fucking bad, and he just couldn't hold it anymore, and he just fucking had it just all right as he was like walking up to the bathroom, it just all down.
How do you take something like that powerful? Does it make you shit too?
I don't know, dude. But
diarrhea.
It was some sort of urine clear, you know what I mean, that they sell at these places. And I was like, I was like, that's all I needed to know. Thank you very much. And then the next thing was this other guy who was a nice guy when he wasn't fucking just out of his mind, and he had no teeth, but he wore dentures, like full set of dentures, and he was like in his 30s. That's how much meth he had done and whatever. And he had a wife, and when they were both not high, they were actually kind of normal human beings, like nice, whatever. Like I met her a couple times. Then one day I'm walking into like the office part of the warehouse. This is before I started working at the IKEA, because this is one of the other things I was like, fuck this, I don't like this. He goes, hey, do you have an email address? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, everyone has an email address. He's like, well, I don't. He goes, I need you to put your email address right here for me, please. On some janky ass website. And I was like, and he was like, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. Just put your email address right here. And I was like, okay. So I put my email address, and then he's like, thanks. And then I come back 5 minutes later. I was like, what was that? And he goes, oh, I was just ordering some pills. Right. And I was like, what? And so basically he was on some sort of black market website ordering fucking who knows what Oxy or who the fuck knows what using my email address. I was like, oh, fuck. And then like I guess he got them in the mail a few days later, a week later or whatever. And him and his wife took them with a bunch of alcohol and everything. And they decided that it'd be a good idea because they weren't working. He wasn't working that night. He decided it'd be a good idea to call me to like thank me, to make it for like helping them out with this. And the both of them are just fucking ripped off their asses, and they're like, hey man, how's it going? And I was like, I'm at work, it's good. And then I'll never forget what his wife said. It was like, his wife was like, Vince, you have no idea, This is so good. You got to try this. We got to get you on this. Oh my God. It is so good. And I was like, oh, I was like, okay, bye.
And then they were dead the next morning.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And then the
Scary.
porno started. Yeah. No, it was
I don't
bad.
want to see that porno.
Yeah, no thanks.
An awful porno.
Yeah. So all that to say is that I have had some fucking fucked up crazy jobs, man. Like,
Yeah, you've had way more than I have.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a lot of jobs, but not like
a lot of
like
my jobs are
those.
fucking weird as fuck,
I
dude.
think I can count all my fucking jobs on one hand.
Really?
Yeah, man, I'm fucking lazy. I'm one of those idiots that like just gets comfortable and just stays at a job for like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just gonna stay here. I don't want to go look for another fucking job. So I'll
Yeah.
just stay there until something else pops up. And I swear it's like the universe or God or whatever the fuck it is. Someone's like, hey man, you looking for a new job? I'm like, yeah, what do you got? And then I just gotta just fucking hop
Yeah.
wherever the fucking destiny takes me.
Right. I've always had to like leave jobs for whatever reason. It's usually like because I was trying to in that time of my life I was always trying to get jobs that I was always okay leaving, like 24 hours notice, like fucking
Yeah.
Robert De Niro and Heat. I was always like, and like the job at the movie theater I left because I was going on a trip to Mexico. The locksmith job I quit because I didn't need it anymore and because I was graduating and I was moving to LA. Other job at the what was it? The IKEA warehouse was because I went on a trip to Hawaii with my family. Do you know what I mean? I was like, fuck y'all, I'm out. So yeah. Nowadays, don't get me wrong, I'm like, oh, I don't want to look for a job ever again because it's fucking hard out here. It's hard out here on these streets in this economy.
And I'm shitty at my jobs too. I'm not a good employee. That's why I'm not a good employee. It's not for me, you know. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like one time I had a boss or a lead man. Now he was like the boss for the. I was like a shift manager kind of. This fucker is a little fucking asshole. He's a little dipshit, and he was like such a kiss ass. And he came up to me, and I had kind of a shitty attitude. You know, I was like, "Fuck you guys, I don't give a shit about this job." And then he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, do you like your job?" I was like, "No." He's like, "You don't?" I'm like, "No, I don't like my job. Who the fuck likes their job? Who likes to work? You like to work?" He's like, "Yes, I like to work." I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like this job." And he's like, "Oh," he had some cool shit he was about to say to me, and he's like, "Oh, well, then never mind. Then just keep doing what you're doing." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, well, fuck you."
What was this job?
This is I was working at this Caterpillar dealership in Arizona called Empire. And it sucks because my cousin got me the job. My cousin, he was like stand up fucking guy. Like they all loved him. Like, oh, you're Michael's cousin. You're Michael's cousin. No, we love Michael. He's the best guy. He's the greatest guy. And I just fucking, I feel bad. I kind of shit on his reputation by being a shitty employee. But
you mean Caterpillar as in the tool, right? Like
tractor
the
machinery, yeah.
Okay,
Tractor?
yeah.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought, man, they deal in caterpillars. Like, is there a big industry for like?
No, yeah,
I
yeah.
guess
The
like
dealership,
butterflies and fucking I don't know.
it was an emporium for caterpillars and butterflies. No,
Yeah.
no, but yeah, it's fucking. It was a good job, but like I made good money and stuff, but like it was just like I knew I was coming out here. It was like right before I moved out here, and I worked there for like
Right.
5 years, and so I was like,
Whoa!
Wow,
yeah, dude,
Holy
I
shit!
worked there for like
that's a
I
minute.
think it was like 4 or 5 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, I fucking.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm just a shitty employee. I need to be interested in something. I need to be invested.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Like, I had a paper route as a kid, but the best job that I had growing up was I worked 2 or 3 years at. I considered it the coolest job in town because it basically wasn't picking strawberries or fast food or the Kmart, which was I worked at a local music store, like a record
Cool.
store. Like, Tower. Now it wasn't Tower Records, but I told everyone, I'm like, I basically work at Tower Records, but the local version. It was called Music Madness, and I loved that job. Like, the owners, Nick and Christine, they were amazing, and then my manager Robert was the coolest guy ever, and then my coworkers, Lorena. I mean, I remember it was like every day, and people at because it was during high school, and people would be like, people didn't know me, because I wasn't like. I didn't fuck around. Like, I wasn't fucking on a football team or whatever. So, but
Mhm.
I got to be that. Everyone was like, I'm Music Madness guy. Oh shit! I would show up to parties and stuff, and they'd see me, and they'd be like, "Holy shit, the Music Madness guy's here!" Because like I worked so long there, and I took so many shifts, and like I just loved being there, and like because it was like it was the perfect culmination of job for me, or like perfect scenario for job for me because I was obsessed with music videos at the time and music in
Mhm.
general and pop culture, and my bosses were so cool, and like we got along, and like it didn't feel like work. Do you know what I mean? And it felt like just having fun. And you're doing work. I'm doing work, but it was just so much fun. And people would always be like, "How did you get the coolest job in town?" And I'm like, "Well, my cousin knew Christine. They went to high school. Like it's always someone that kind of thing."
Yeah.
And I interviewed and everything, and I was like, "This is I." Like when I quit that job, aka when I went to college,
Mm.
I was bummed. Do you know what I mean? I was like, man, I don't think I'll ever have that cool, like quote unquote cool of a job ever again. And I honestly, I don't know. I've done some cool shit, but as far as like having fun, every day, like this is
Yeah.
cool. And like I definitely miss that scenario of it, and like being like, it's just so cool.
You miss the
Well, no,
madness.
it's
You miss the
yeah.
music
Well,
madness.
what's
Yeah,
funny is like I just like the other day was just like, oh, what would I like to do? Like if I could like have all the money, I was like, oh, maybe like owning like a record store would be kind of fun. Like,
yeah,
wonder like what that takes to run, like how much that is. So I was like, let me go on ChatGPT real fast. Like how much to start like a record business or a record store.
yeah,
And it's not the most expensive, but the margins are so
yeah,
slim that I was like,
yeah,
this doesn't seem fun. It'd be fun to work there,
yeah.
but to run it seems like
Oh
it
yeah,
would be like a constant
Yeah.
yeah,
stress of like
Barely
yeah.
making it.
barely making it, like
Mm-hmm.
constantly like special used and new, like trying to get
Mm-hmm.
inventory. It's like a constant like
Yeah,
hustle on like
yeah,
Facebook and
yep,
going to estate sales and this and that.
yeah,
And like if you're into that, great. But if you're not, like I don't want to do that
yeah.
all day.
Yeah, I saw recently here that I found out about this place here in the city about in the Mission. Some guy runs a shop just like that, but he specializes in like Latino records.
Mm.
So he says I was watching his Instagram, and he says basically he travels all around Latin America, Spain, and all over the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
just finding like this most obscure shit and bringing it back here to his shop and selling it. And I'm like, that's awesome, but who wants that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
is there a market for that? Like,
there is a market for, especially
Well,
it's
if he has an
growing,
online store
Latin-
and people are looking for the shit, then yeah.
yeah, I guess
Well,
if on eBay, yeah,
that's the other thing. The big thing was like the day one of opening up a record store is you have to open up an online
yep,
arm of it. Like you
yep,
have to start
yep,
immediately selling online,
yeah,
which is another like when I have to get people to
yeah,
like ship it and package it
yeah,
and this and
yeah.
that and
I think what you just said is across the board. And now we're getting into the weeds here about this, but like I think for example, my uncle in Mexico, from what I hear, he has a shop where he like fixes trucks and he's got a garage. And he says that most of his now like business is shipping parts to all around Mexico, like on like eBay type sites, like because he has some random part for a 1978,
That's huge.
Gremlin or
Yeah.
whatever.
My brother's renovating his truck right now. It's like a 76 fucking Chevy. I think it's a Silverado. And yeah, he's looking
so
for,
cool.
he just got a whole new dash and same thing, like ordering all these little parts from everywhere, from all over the internet.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
It's a big,
Well,
it's a pretty big industry.
It's a big industry, yeah.
Especially now,
I mean,
they want to put fucking
yeah,
kill switches in our car. You hear about that shit?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
yeah, yeah. I'll tell you this about the record thing. The last like 2-3 records I bought that have been like specialized records. I've been like a place in Texas, another place in Arizona, another place in Nevada, and I'm always like, wow. And some kid in Tijuana too, like because he gets the records in Mexico, and then he like goes to San Diego and ships them. So I'm like, wow, like record stores are back, but they're not back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, the fucking Amoeba is still right in LA. It's like,
yeah,
they
Yeah.
moved locations, obviously, but they're
yeah,
still there.
yeah.
And one of my best friends, he worked at OG Amoeba, like in San Francisco, and then
Yeah.
opened up the one down here for
Yeah.
years.
Uh-huh.
And that was like the best because he like would get everything. And we recently reconnected, and he had digitized his entire music library
Uh-huh.
and shared it with me. And it is
Wow.
fucking it's the history of amoeba. Like it's like it's the best because like stuff will come on and be like that. I don't even know what this is.
Wow.
Like every genre, like everything. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
But
Man,
it's
a lot. Here we are. Good news is I think the kids like the records.
Kids like the records. I like the records. I buy records all the time.
I buy them like crazy. But the kids, I think it's good that like the kids are going back to it. My son is like, I always look at my records, and he's like, we'll go to Target even, and he's like looking at the records, and he's like, can we get this one? I'm like, okay, like sure. But anyways, thanks. That's it for today, everybody. Thanks for listening. We want to hear about your odd jobs. Make sure to follow us on all the socials.
Odd job.
Yeah,
we doing,
tell us
by
about
the way?
your odd job.
Can we address that on the air? Are we doing well?
What?
Yeah,
we're
on the platforms,
sure.
people following us.
Sure, I think everyone out there needs to follow us more. How about that?
Yeah, spread the word.
The more the merrier. Spread the word.
I was in Arizona when I was in Arizona. I from the wedding. I got some good feedback from some
nice.
Old friends that actually like follow and listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Yeah, I've been getting good feedback too. Just everyone follow us on everything, listen to everything, watch everything, find us wherever you can find us. We appreciate it. Any feedback is welcome. Thank you so much for listening. That's Eric Lopez. That's Justin Abarca. I'm Vince Navarro. We are the Three Mexicans. See you next time. Bye, bye, bye.